That was beautiful. That was really beautiful.
I'm
really good.
very embarrassed.
I didn't even have to pay for like Swan Lake tickets.
Literally. Nutcracker? Hardly know her.
Hello, everyone. It's your favorite neighborhood hot messes here. I'm Rachel Osterhout.
I'm Sydney Glenn.
And I'm Keegan Morgan.
And this is Trauma Tuesday. So you guys don't know this because you haven't edited a video one, but so there's dead silence when in the video.
I haven't edited a
there's
video.
Dead silence when obviously because the theme song's only playing in our headphones. So it's not playing out loud, and I can show you guys the video. We're just like this in dead silence.
Oh, you're saying the video. Okay,
Yes,
okay.
in the original video before it is synced with the audio. And it is so funny. And if you ever need to be humbled, because I was humbled immensely when I was like, just dead. And because you guys, in the particular one, you guys were just sitting there. And so it was just me.
All right, I'm here to call these fucking people out.
Who?
Where were you? On January
6, 2021.
I was gonna say that, but then I was gonna try to think of where were you on 9/11?
I was about
Where
9
were you when
months old?
Osama bin Laden's house was raided?
I was
and he
about
was
9
killed?
months old.
I was in Osama bin Laden's house, actually. Making a...
If the government's listening to this,
A
Sydney's
tuna
doing a
melt.
bet.
That's not funny. You can't make jokes like that. Okay, I actually was gonna call you out, but then I forgot that we have a thing to do.
You swinging that mic around like no tomorrow.
Yeah, sorry.
Like it
It's
owes
a
you
little
money.
squeaky.
You bitch, where's my money? You did put it down emotionally last episode.
Well, welcome to the podcast.
We need a camera, like a GoPro on top
I'm
of that.
afraid of it. I'm like, hey.
Do we need one?
100% I need a GoPro on my head. More
At all
mobility.
times, like those dogs that get GoPros put on their collars just so their owner can see where they were. We're like, what's Keegan up to? Committing arson again.
So did anything weird happen to you guys this week?
Yeah,
Interesting?
it was last week. I already told Sydney this.
So not this week.
I asked her to ask if anything weird happened last week. So it's not my fault.
Oh, gee, I didn't even notice that.
Okay. So I already told Cindy this, but I was originally waiting to say it on the podcast. I hit a man with my car.
What the fuck?
Like,
Rachel.
not a man in a car.
Manslaughter.
A man while I was in my car. And let me explain. Hear me out. He's fine. Spoiler alert. He's fine. I was leaving pitch black. This man dressed in all black, not a single reflector on this man, on a bike, comes in front of my car, and while I'm slowly pulling out at literally snail speed, I just tip his bike over with it's perfect.
That is
the
perfect.
corner of my car. And so he falls, and I'm like, oh, fuck. And so at this point, I'm already so I reverse back into red point. How funny would it be if I hit him again when I was reversing? And so I reverse back into red point, and I'm like, holy shit, are you okay? And he literally, I kid you not, he stands up, he looks at himself, dusts his pants off, and goes, yeah.
That's not the first time that's happened.
No, it is not.
I'm like,
no.
I wanted to be like, sir, can I suggest a single reflector on either you? I know they don't look super cool, dude, but shall I suggest a helmet? Perhaps just a single reflector sticker on your bike? Nothing. There was not a single thing that showed this man existed. So it did tip him over, and
Maybe
he
he
checked
was-
his bike. He checked himself. Everything was good. And he just literally got on his bike and rode away while I was had that moment in the car where you turn the music off and you just sit in silence ashamed. You need to,
Maybe-
you put yourself in timeout.
Maybe he was upset that he didn't get hit harder. Maybe he was trying to get all black, no reflector. He took reflectors off of his bike then. Every bike comes
That's what
with
I
a
was thinking. I
reflector
was like,
today.
isn't that standard?
On the
And so if
tires,
he
yeah.
had a used bike or something, maybe, I don't know, an older bike, maybe they didn't used to be standard, but I don't know.
You guys made
It
me
was
so
bizarre.
self-conscious of my apple juice.
I literally didn't even notice. I didn't even. I like how I'm
I
I
did.
hit a man with my car, and Keegan's like, guys, insecure that I'm drinking apple juice right now.
Okay. For context, it's
What is that?
apple
A gallon?
juice out of a gallon jug.
Yeah, and it sounds like we're
Mods.
exaggerating, and we're not.
That was the smallest spit take I've ever.
Dude, she's like,
I knew I was gonna laugh when you started laughing at me.
But like, Rachel does not give any context.
It's just, you know, those like hamster like drinking things where they're going ham, like they're going at it.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Dude, I just,
Stop looking at her. She's insecure. You're
so
insecure. Don't know what for. Do you remember the edit of that song? It was like, you're insecure. You good?
You son of a bitch.
dude, we need to get the audio for it.
at least
Yell
do this
into
in
the
front of
microphone.
I have apple juice everywhere, you son of a bitch.
Okay, are you okay?
Oh my.
Alright, okay. So I have the right
For the listeners, Keegan just ate shit and fell.
No, I didn't. Also, I have the right. Oh, hello. Hello. Oh shit.
Is that your mic? Have you been talking to the other mic this whole time?
I honestly. Hello.
Okay, hang on. Let me just set both of them for you. Hang on.
It was this one. Hello. Are they both working?
Don't do that. It's gonna fuck it up.
It smells like apple juice in here.
Shut up, bitch. You wanna know why?
I just tasted it in
Number
Did
one.
you just say, do you want to know why? I think we know why.
Sydney's the fucking reason why.
Okay.
Okay, no, let me finish my damn sentence because you choked. I didn't even get to finish my damn juice, bitch. Okay? So, I have the right to have at least part of that section of the video cut out, so it's not a double fucking whammy. I literally looked, there's a split second where I looked at the chair and I'm like, if I don't stop moving, if I don't move my leg, then I'm gonna eat shit. And like, in my brain, I moved my leg, but then I still ate shit. So then I did not move my leg.
It's just such, like, as someone with ADHD, the fact that, like, we have a whole thing that happens in our head and it's completely different than reality. And this is like a universal thing. I'm like, in my head, I already like did this. And then it like fully is not that.
Bro, Sydney and I were procrastinating doing homework, and so we were making TikToks literally in Keenan, the study lab. I started taking a video on my phone. My video keeps running and the TikTok cuts off. And I go, Sydney, do you think I'm autistic? And I go, because I don't think I'm autistic. And Sydney goes, and I was like, bitch! Also, side note, this is not me being insulted that people think that I have autism. It was just that I was caught so off guard by, because I was like, some people like say stuff about that, and I show some symptoms, but it's ADHD, and I don't think I have autism, do you? And she goes, it was the silence that was clearly deafening in this conversation. She goes,
Well, the thing
Let's
is,
make a
both
look.
of those have been so, such a small amount was tested on girls. So both for autism and ADHD. So just now are we getting to the point, for the longest time, both of them went like chronically undiagnosed for women. So I think that is also a thing to it, is like most women are just now figuring out which one they have. And so, but yeah, no, interesting talk.
so a while ago, I honestly wish I had my ADHD results to show you guys because they are fucking hilarious. But it was like,
It's just like a form with a bunch of like numbers and a doctor's signature. Like,
Dude.
bro, this cracks me up.
it was like 98% unlikely to be good in social settings. And I was like,
Damn.
fuck. And then like you keep going down, and it's like 44% likely to struggle with basic comprehension of things. And I was like, God damn. And
It's just the doctor dragging you the
they're
entire
just-
time.
Oh, it's the sound effect where it's a vine boom. It goes like, not good in social settings. Boom.
But it's like some of them, it's totally out of the blue, because some of them are like more likely to daydream, more likely to have vivid dreams at night, more likely to not sleep as well at night, percentage. And then it's like most likely to kill their mother. And you're like, oh, shit.
Wait, that reminds me. I was like, this video came up on my For You page of this girl saying like the worst date I ever went on was when I like sat down in a coffee shop with a guy and he tells me out of nowhere that he has the serial killer gene. And then when I leave, he followed her onto the way? Like in his car.
Dude, the girl across my hall from my dorm, she was dope. Her name was Leslie. And she was talking about how she went on a date with a guy and he kept saying like how he was gonna kill her and bury her in the woods, and she was like, oh, he's just trying to impress me.
Girl,
And then
how is that impressive?
No, dude, and like he kept saying that throughout the whole date, and then she went with him to the woods to prove that he was just bluffing it, and he was just being a weirdo. But I was like, Leslie,
That's a lot of trust.
I think she had like, I think she had a wish.
that's one of the few times I've heard a story and I'm like, I hope this is fake. I hope you made this
It's
up.
an entertaining
It's like
story.
the-
So whenever I hear those, I always hope that they made it up as like a party trick story.
Oh,
It's like
my
the
God,
Misha
dude.
story.
No, bro, do you remember who Misha is? So, well, Misha is the guy who is the Russian man.
the Russian guy.
Who, and I submitted the Misha story as my nonfiction like final draft, and so now my group is going to read and grade it.
And
it's
what if they
tomorrow.
were just like bullshit?
I know.
It was funny because she, in the reading, she was like, allegedly this, allegedly that, once it got to this part. Because she wrote it in there. But yeah.
Hypothetically, if one were to partake in these activities,
After a certain Russian man gives you some hypothetical.
And the worst part is I was like, damn, I really want to make sure I have like evidence of this story because I feel like people just aren't gonna actually believe me. So that night had happened with like,
at the time was a friend.
Yeah.
yeah, which is clarified in the story. And the name has changed
To what?
to Chad. Right?
Why is that an insult?
No, I know. But like, yeah. Anywho, I texted my ex like out of the blue. It was like, hey, remember when? hey. No, I was like, hey, my phone got waterboarded with the photo of Misha on it. Can you please send me that photo? I really need it for a class. And he blocked me. Which, like, I get it.
Wait,
Wait, how do
okay,
you know
before
he
or
blocked you?
after?
How do you?
After I texted him that.
How do you know though?
Because the
It
message
doesn't
was
deliver.
blue and then it turned
Oh.
green. Like 2 hours later.
He didn't send it?
No, bitch. I know.
The audacity. Well,
I
you know
know.
what? There's a lot of regrets, like exes and stuff that we have in our
Hold
college
on.
life.
Give me 1 second. I need to have something pulled up for this. Okay.
By design, I'm
so
gonna screenshot
first
them.
of all, how are you gonna be short and then push someone in a bar?
Can we just make that a sound real quick? I don't know.
I wasn't
Do we need to
finished.
pause? Do we need to pause this for that?
You
Or is
gotta
that
let
too
her
much?
go, 'cause-
Okay, just go.
I was so shocked by
And then also not have a job. And then be the person in the wrong in a relationship. And when that person asks you for one thing, one innocent photo, you block them when you were the problem?
I love
What
this.
the fuck?
She keeps going.
She keeps going. I thought she was
Anyway.
gonna stop after like 2 or 3.
That's why I said I'm
kept
not
going.
done. Anyway.
Going off. I love it. I love it.
How do we... Any of you have anything else? Like, what? Did anything weird happen to either one of you?
I don't. I don't think so. Nothing happened weird.
We can't talk about
I
that.
can't talk about that. Okay.
What happened?
It was the stuff I told you about.
I'll censor it.
Go ahead.
It was what I told you about. That happened at the club.
That's what I thought you were talking about.
Oh,
Because
please
that
tell
happened-
that story.
Oh no, I
I
can't.
Y'all both have mono.
Bitch, I've already had mono. No, when I
So you
was
can't get-
15, I can't get it again.
But can
But
you
you
give
can't-
it?
No.
You can only give it
You're
if you
only
show
gi-
symptoms.
That means that, like, I would have given it
Oh.
to anyone who I've kissed since I was 15.
I
You
thought
only are
that's-
contagious for 2 weeks after, like, getting it. But you can never get it again.
And that, like,
You always have it.
Well, the cold.
I did have chronic mono for a year afterwards, where it wasn't contagious, but I just had the symptoms of it. Like I was exhausted. It was horrible.
There's also a lot of other things that you have in your body for the rest of your life. Like a lot of colds you actually do have in your body for the rest of your life.
Chronic depression.
So you can never get it ever again. Okay, yeah, that too. Sometimes it skedaddles a little bit.
But it's still there.
Depends on who the person is.
Trauma, anxiety, PTSD.
Wait, fuck, today's Tuesday. Bro.
Oh.
We're doing trauma on a Tuesday.
It's funny because we're so
best day of my life.
I'm supposed to post today too, but it's not gonna happen. It's okay.
Me.
Oh my god, our fans.
Our fans are gonna be so upset. I feel like this has been like a crack house on the couch.
A guy listened to the rice purity test episode, and this time he still wanted to go on a date with me after.
He listened to the episode.
The one who said he was gonna listen to our podcast.
You're listening to the podcast, and I hope you know I am gonna send you a DM on Instagram, but I will fuck up your life if you make any wrong move.
Oh,
just so you know.
So you know.
I
know. It took me a second. You know what? I'm slow today. It's okay.
Honestly,
I was incredibly vague.
Bro, it doesn't, I mean, you don't have to say the name, but I'm saying the name doesn't even matter because there's so many of those names in our life.
It's basically like saying John. Like,
John Doe.
Especially in our life.
No, yeah.
There are a lot of people with that name. It's actually
I
so
can name
confusing.
at least
We have to, like,
5
usually
off the
be
top of my
like-
head right now.
So-and-so blank, so-and-so
And
blank.
some of them are spelt different, which is bizarre. Like,
Yeah. It's hard.
And they can't spell my damn name right.
that's fucked up. What do they use? 2 E's? 1 E? I mean, 1 E, no way.
Jules has my name in her phone wrong because she thinks it's funny.
I have a theory that originally she typed it wrong by accident, but
I
then
think
it
she
became
did.
funny.
I think
did.
she did.
I think I did.
That's fine.
Well, not on Jules, but like yours.
Who's Jewel?
Who's Jules?
Oh my
What?
goodness. I'm in love.
Oh my gosh! Where's the Vine boom when we need it? When that's downloaded, we're gonna use that so often. Play the Vine boom. What did I do? What did I do?
I am in love.
The guy with the cat video? After this, can you show us a photo? Because I don't think I know what he looks like.
Oh, give me your phone.
Why is my phone the only one being used by? Okay, here.
My
Oh,
phone
because
is
mine's not connected to the
Oh.
Wi-Fi.
I
I
know.
can't anymore. Well, I
was-
guess I could connect.
I
guest.
completely forgot that your phone was being. The Cheesesmith posted a very beautiful photo. What is that?
So fucking good.
Is that a Philly
Guys, how
cheesesteak?
long are they
Cheesesteak.
open?
Guys, I don't
Yo.
have enough money, but yes.
That's
Also-
really expensive.
That cheese
it's
is
like
very
a $14 grilled cheese.
But it's so fucking
But it's
good.
the
because it's
best
like
grilled
gourmet.
cheese
I made
you'll
the best
have.
grilled cheese in my life last night, and I think I've really perfected the art finally because I make them so often.
Oh my gosh.
Life
don't
hack,
follow
like put
him.
them like the pan covers, like the glass pan covers. Put that on top of your sandwich to perfectly melt the cheese throughout it. Let me see.
While she's
Ooh,
looking
fun
at
last
that,
name.
I
No.
Is he?
no.
I don't think so. Uh-oh.
Is he?
Oh no.
Wait, what makes you?
I don't think so.
What makes you think they're?
Now that you say it,
No.
the love of my
No,
life was
I
ripped
think-
from my eyes
No.
once again on this podcast.
I think that they might just be very comfortable in their
I
masculinity.
mean, I love that if they are. I'm just saying, have you considered it? Was what I was saying. Wait, how do you know him? I can get this. I can cut this out. I'm just curious.
I know him from. And
Okay.
then he spoke to me one time, and then I embarrassed the fuck out of myself because I can't talk to
Oh.
guys who I think are cute. I
Okay, was
like,
he like giving you vibes? Like in that conversation, was he like looking at you?
I was more focused on embarrassing myself.
He definitely could just be secure in himself. I like how
Not
I thought
used to
of-
that.
Yeah.
Oh, where's the Vine boom when we need it? How are you gonna be?
But anywho, did I already tell that story about how I
Yes.
embarrassed myself
Yes.
on the podcast?
Also, if you do tell that story again, it kind of pinpoints exactly who we're talking about.
You're like, so anyway, here's his full name. This is his Twitter handle. This is his Instagram. His
John
number.
Doe 547.
I experienced the most attractive form of chivalry that I've ever experienced in my entire life, and I am no longer interested in boys. I am only attracted to men from now on.
This is just her coming
It
out.
comes out as a, what is it called when it's like,
Oh shit, what if I was like, I'm no longer attracted to men. I'm a
Vine
lesbian.
boom, vine boom. I'm no longer trying to it. Boom. So we made a joke about how you like have come out straight on the podcast before. Like we made a joke that. But I honestly feel like with the stories you've told that it's necessary because you've said multiple times that you've had people be like, "Are you sure?" Like,
Dude, you know how hard that was to go through puberty and be like,
that's such an early time to be saying that shit too.
yeah, to be like, I only have a crush on men. Like, I must be only attracted to men. And then people be like, are you sure? And me be like, I don't know. What do you mean?
I'm 12.
Yeah. No, literally, like in high school and shit, people would be like, Keegan, it's okay. Like, if you like girl. And I'm like,
Okay, but what was I know the story, but continue your story about you're done with boys. It's time for men.
and I was telling Zach about this today earlier, but so basically I was standing up. If anybody's watching a video, I'm gonna try to do a
Oh shit! They don't deserve that shit. I'm gonna put a cat picture over that.
just kidding, I have pants on.
Somebody's gonna look through the window one
right.
day and be like, "Hey, quick question, what the fuck?"
Can you?
Don't worry about it.
Can you? Gotta check the gusset.
Oh, I pulled my pants down, but I have pants on underneath my pants, so.
Also, can you tighten your microphone because it's making the.
Oh shit! She tight as fuck.
Is it still doing it? Okay, so basically, I was on the right. I was struggling to put my shoe on, right? So I was like leaning over, like kind of wiggling around, like when you try to hold your foot behind your back. And the man comes up to me and he like latches arms with me like this, but like keeps a very respectful distance. And then as soon as I'm done, he like steps off and steps away.
How old was this man?
He's married. No. And like I just thought I literally like was at the wife. I was like, girl. I was like, you gotta come on.
This all you?
No, bro. And,
Oh,
girl, that's all you right here. No, but the funniest part is he was also trying to teach his son like to like manners about like being around a woman, which I think is so cute, and I didn't know people still did today.
Thank fucking God.
Yeah.
Somebody has to.
So the kid was sitting on the couch and watching TV when I came in, and this is the same man. He was like, "Hey, buddy, like next time a woman comes in the room, you better stand." And then he goes, "I know," but then he says, "But it's Keegan, so you're good."
Vine boom. Wait, how old's the kid?
Like 6.
Can you imagine if it was like a 20-year-old man?
Oh.
It's like, you better stand up, son. Watching cartoon.
I graduated 5 years ago, and you're still
Then
not.
why are you still here?
You have great Wi-Fi signal.
That's true. Parents always have great Wi-Fi.
No,
Really?
my mom never had great Wi-Fi. She just
My
recently
parents
got
are
good
splurging
Wi-Fi.
on that shit.
My parents used to only have good Wi-Fi in their office.
See,
And then they put the
Honestly.
extension router in their office, so then when they got mad at us, they would turn it off. That is so petty, but also I would definitely do that if I was a parent. Dude, what if every time I pulled out the apple juice, you guys also did the boom noise?
dude, we need this as a thing today.
We'll do it right after. But yeah, no, I saw like a video recently where it was the text saying like somebody in your family plan has used 90% of the data, and it was that scene from I Think You Should Leave where he's like, I didn't do shit. You can't blame this for me. I didn't do shit. This wasn't me. And like, okay, how do we transition?
We've talked about a lot of things on this podcast so far, about exes, a lot of regrets we've had. Now, what are some regrets of college? Or what are some things that you would tell your younger self? I messed it up because I distracted.
Speaking of bad Wi-Fi.
Speaking of bad Wi-Fi, bad decisions. What would you tell your younger self?
So basically I was sitting I listen to a lot of podcasts now at work because I can have headphones in. And so I was sitting and I was thinking about how interesting it would be to be able to tell people either early in college or even like still in college, like almost done, or students about to go to college, like things I wish I had known and things I wish people had told me before I got here. And so my first thing is how we met, which is fucking get out of your comfort zone and join group chats and join, you know, those cheesy Instagram pages. What is happening? Those cheesy Instagram pages where the captions are always like, I love going out, but I also love staying in. And I'm outgoing, but I'm also introverted. Do it. You know what? Fucking do it. Submit a picture of yourself and write your little cheesy caption saying that you love to go clubbing and you also love watching Netflix, just like everyone else, because you might make some friends. And that is especially, we came during COVID. So that is how we met, is through those group chats and Instagram pages that people made out of sheer loneliness during quarantine times.
So,
yes.
So my freshman year was during COVID, so people did a lot of things online and tried to make a lot of online groups and just put emphasis on that and getting kids friends and stuff throughout the year. And somebody, it was the official UNCW site of introducing students and their age and their grade and what they liked, and it's like a dating website, and but it's Instagram. It's not a dating website, but it's the same requirements as it would be in your profile. And they posted Rainy Rodriguez on the profile, and people were like going off in the comments. So I didn't know if it was real or not. So I DM'd Rainy Rodriguez and I was like,
Girl,
hey, I don't know if you're actually going to her school, but like,
she's like 30.
I didn't know that. She doesn't look 30.
She was playing a high school student like
Yeah.
2 years before that.
Bomb.
Probably a
Great
long
job.
time. Yeah.
Siesta, salsa, quinceañera.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that worked out well for us though, like joining a weird little random group chat.
The Rainy Rodriguez thing did not help me.
Yeah, you like open your Instagram DMs and you get secondhand embarrassment from like 3 years ago.
No, dude, I have some embarrassing stuff in my DMs.
Different episode.
Me too.
Like I like we went to Trixie Mattel's drag show and I DM'd her, I'll let you shave my head if we can meet you guys. No response.
I like how that was a recent one.
I think the biggest thing, it was something that I wasn't comfortable with whenever I was a freshman in college, but then I had to get comfortable with in sophomore year, is also being comfortable with yourself. I had always been around friends and stuff like that, and so I just started going out and about, like doing things on my own, like going shopping and stuff like that, and I started really enjoying it, and it was nice because then I could come back to like you guys and tell you guys about weird things that happen. Not really weird things, but like, you know, just different things that happen.
Trauma dump.
I didn't often get traumatized during these solo endeavors, or I probably would not have continued doing them.
Oh, no, I meant like that's how we started talking. Like what we
Yeah.
started talking about.
Yeah.
That is like one of my things though, is that I said like be kind of the same thing where I was like dating be as weird as possible. It's kind of the same thing, but like be as weird as you normally would be. And so if we hadn't been weirdly vulnerable with each other, we might not have hung out again. And so the fact that we weirdly trauma bonded almost immediately, just almost out of nowhere, and then all got together constantly. I mean, no we didn't, because we were...
I mean, allegedly.
Hypothetically. So if I had been, like, staying in my comfort zone and pretending, like, putting on this persona of, oh my god, I'm such a cool girl, like, just came to college, I'm such a cool, like, laid-back, chill girl, and I, like, didn't actually show my personality, you guys would have been like, that bitch boring as fuck. Like,
I think that I imagine myself to be somebody completely different than I actually am sometimes. I'm like, no, I'm chill, I'm laid back. And then I'll hang out with some of my friends. I'm like, what are you doing? You can't do that. You're breaking the rules.
We all have sides to
I have
ourselves.
different places in different friend groups.
Yeah.
I feel like that is, I would be scared of anyone who doesn't feel like that. Like, if everyone's like, if one person's like, no, I am the same person with every group, no matter what, I'd be like, what the psychopath?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know about that one.
I think another big thing that I learned is just checking in with myself and making sure that the relationships I'm still having are still beneficial. What you doing over there, Key?
Okay. I don't want to go on.
Oh, that was it.
Oh, okay. Something that I learned that I think is really important is that just because people give you attention doesn't mean they like or care about you.
Mm-hmm.
That is, I have one similar where it's if you surround yourself with shitty people, you're gonna become a shitty person because you don't really realize this. I didn't realize this my freshman year. You are in the most malleable state of your personality, like ever. You are just now leaving home. All you've been surrounded with is your family in the same town you've probably lived in for a long time, and you've been around the same people in high school. You are the most like malleable you've ever been. And so you go in there not realizing that college is going to change who you are as a person. And so if you surround yourself, yes, in a very necessary way, it's a time of growth. And even if you didn't go to college, I'm saying like this time period in your life, this stage of life. And so if you surround yourself by people who make you feel like shit, who talk shit about other people completely unwarranted, and who are just negative all the time, you are going to find yourself also doing those things. Because whether you realize it or not, you're going to lose pieces of yourself depending on who you surround yourself with, especially freshman year. And so you are going to become the people that you were spending all of your time with. You're going to the dining hall with them. You're living with them. You're spending all your time with these people. And if you choose the wrong people, if you choose these negative people, you are going to be miserable. And it might take you like half a year to learn that, or even the full school year, or even until you're like a junior and realize these people are shitty. But it is just so important to just sit back, like talk to yourself, like discuss with yourself, like, do these people make me feel like shit? Am I becoming a shitty person to other people because of these people?
Yeah, it's definitely important. And especially knowing that, I mean, a lot of people say this already, but everything's going to change, you know? Like Rachel was saying, your personality is going to change a lot. Your career path is definitely going to be very malleable as well. Like, I mean, I didn't know what I was doing whenever I first got into college. I was unsure, so I just went in undecided at UNC Charlotte.
Don't know.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Because, like,
I'm a junior.
Dude, my dad went to college for screen printing. He's a pilot.
I love how many jobs your parents have had.
Dude, my dad is like, he reminds me of that Papa's game where it's like Papa's Pizzeria.
No, he's fucking Barbie. Barbie had like 50 million jobs.
Dude, he literally has, and he has like memorabilia from a lot of it. Like, I have his ski patrol jacket. I also have his police academy pants.
But see how many fucking things. You're just Barbie if you change career paths.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to be Barbie?
I can't tell you who doesn't want to be Barbie.
Yeah. So, do you have any? Oh, go ahead.
I have a couple of things I want to say. Number one, I used to be really scared when people said when you would go to college, you would change a lot. And that's not negative whatsoever. When I say that, I mean, like, you become the freer version of the kid you couldn't be because there was rules and there was regulations. And then you learn how to parent yourself, which is one of the most important things that you can do. And it's important that you surround yourself with the people who are like, clean up your shit, like, go get something to eat, like, go shower. And if you don't have positive influences around you, you can't tell yourself to do that at any point in your life. And so I think you can really only change in a good way. And with that being said, college is really depressing when you first join. Like, it's okay to not have friends right off the bat for the first semester, second semester, even the third semester. It takes a while, and it feels really lonely trying to get those friends. And you also don't have to approach it in the way of you bitch. That
Fine, boom.
that like best friends, the older you get, best friends kind of disappear, and you only keep around all of your best friends that you really care about. And so it's okay that you don't have one perfect person that you spend all your time with. Like, it's okay to hang out with a couple of people that you love equally, and that friend group is small. Bro, I joined so many big friend groups freshman year of college, and I was not nearly as happy in them as I am in the one we created.
That's what I have, like, a running joke when I go to like dining hall, or when I used to go to dining halls and stuff. you would see these huge tables of like 10, 15 people all always coming together. And you just know that it's that entire like dorm section or dorm floor that they decided they're going to be one big friend group for the rest of their lives. And then you keep seeing them, but it's like a group of 2. It's the same people, but they've all spread out. And there's nothing wrong with that. I just think it's really funny. I'm like, I give them 2 weeks before some of them drop out. Some of them hate each other. Some of them tried to date, didn't work out. So then it split the group up more. And then so you have these then established small groups of 3, maybe 4 if you're feeling spicy. And so it is like a running joke for me, but also it's true and it's completely fine. And also there is one thing I've noticed so much is I am so much less judgmental than I used to be. And so like in high school, I would like just mentally even, not even out loud, judge things for things where it's like, who gives a fuck? Like, are those pants hideous? Maybe. Who gives a fuck? Why am I caring? And so like, when you come to college and people told me like you can show up to class in your pajamas riding a scooter with a dinosaur hat, I'm not going to look twice at you. I'm genuinely not. I'm going to be like, yeah, sometimes it's like that. Everyone has those days where they need to get on a scooter wearing a dinosaur hat and you didn't change clothes those days, you know, and you just rolled out of bed and put on your hat. But oddly specific example, but that's what genuinely people are so much less judgy in college, and it just kind of occurs naturally as like one of the things that changes when you grow. Oh, I used to like make fun of people who watch anime and shit, for example. I'm like, who gives a fuck? Who cares? Why do I care? Cringy doesn't exist anymore. I don't care if you're cringy. It's none of my business. And I feel like that is something that definitely happens in college. So if you rolled out of bed and you think, oh my God, my hair looks awful, nobody cares. Nobody gives a fuck and nobody's judging you.
Yeah, I literally, especially with the anime thing, as long as you don't force it into my business, I don't care. Like, just because I had a roommate that was just like forceful about it. But like, I genuinely.
It's like as if it's religion.
No, literally, no. You
that
know
was just
how,
something I use, for example, like cringe things. I like.
No, I totally
don't
get
judge
it.
people anymore.
I don't judge people, especially because like some of like whenever I was younger, I used to like judge people for anime and stuff like that, and I personally still don't like it, but that's fine.
Yeah, I don't watch
you know?
it, but cringe is dead. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, and also like I've met some of the coolest people, and they enjoy the mess out of it, and I'm like, okay, that was me learning that just because one person. We are not sponsored by Capri Sun.
Please. Can I send them this?
Yes. Or Mott's.
I hope people feel like
Mott's
they're
for
in
thoughts.
that movie. Fuck, why did I just forget the name? The movie where
Scene
the
one,
guy
take one.
is in a movie and doesn't realize it.
Scene 1,
The
take 2.
Truman Show.
Yes, I hope people feel like they're in the Truman Show.
take
Okay.
3.
Girl. Okay.
But yeah, I used to be very judgmental, like you were saying. And you just kind of learn that one assumption of like, you can't just assume a group of people just for this one thing that they like, because they like so many different things. Also, something that I think is very important to know, and something that my dad told me about, but like I truly understood after, is don't off the bat get an apartment with like random people that without having separate leases. Like, I was very fortunate that my dad did not let me get like one all collective lease, but I've definitely had roommate fallouts, and people change and things are different. And so I think anybody who's listening that happens to be going into college or going into off-campus housing, just start off by doing the separate leases. That is so important, because it saves a headache later on if you have to move out. Like if you have to move out mid-year. Anyways. Yeah.
Don't be the friend group who has sex with everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I was partially a part of that. I wasn't a part of that, but I was partially a part of that, but I
I was
wasn't a
about
part
to
of
say,
it.
elaborate. Like,
Oh,
what
yeah.
do you mean by that?
You mean like you're adjacent to the friend group?
Oh, you witnessed
I
it.
was like,
Yeah.
I witnessed it.
You just had like a massive orgy that I.
Yeah, I was like, this is coming off weird. But like also, you don't have to wait for something bad to happen to not be friends with people anymore. You can cut people off no matter what. Like seriously, you can stop being friends with anybody. And also something I heard recently was that What if I was like, I don't know. Something that I heard recently is that people who are above you won't make you. No, it's people who are better than you or above you won't judge you.
Mm-hmm.
And so if they're judging you, they're below you. And people are only mean to other people if they're acting out of pain. And that has changed those two things have changed my whole like viewpoint on the way that people treat me. Because I was like, oh, it's my fault. It's my fault why I'm getting all these shitty friends.
Actions, like it can make you sit back and be like, why am I lashing out at this person?
Yeah.
What's hurting me?
Yeah, like I was like, why am I getting all these shitty friends? Why is everybody so mean to me? Why is blah, blah, blah? I'm like, is it me though? Or are we all just in a little bit of pain because we're growing up on our own right now? You know?
And it's not normalized to just cut people off randomly. Like you said, I feel like that should be more normalized to have a discussion with someone, say, this made me uncomfortable. I genuinely don't think I can continue my friendship with you without there being some sort of like just thing in my head, like stopping it or like being toxic. And so I think we need to cut it off. And so a lot of times when friends end up hurting each other, friend groups and stuff like that, it's because they should have cut it off a while ago. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so that's like a really good point.
Oh yeah, boundaries are healthy. Boundaries are healthy.
Take advantage of everything on your campus while you can. So that
free
goes,
plant.
Yeah, the random events that like as a freshman you maybe like, oh, those are so stupid. Go. There's free pizza.
Food.
There's free fucking pizza, and an RA spent days crying trying to get people to go. Okay, just go and have fun, make friends. You're not too cool to go to a little pizza party. Okay, it's fun as fuck. And in a year or so, when you're not living on campus anymore, you're gonna wish you had free pizza more often.
It saves you so much money.
Yeah, literally the amount of like just check. I know we had an app. Like
we still do.
Yeah. Where it would like show up events that were happening around you that like maybe you didn't even see posters for or anything. So like do that. But also that means take advantage of the doctor, the free. Well, you have to connect your insurance.
No, okay.
But it's okay. So the medicine there, I found out. Yeah, I only found this out my last semester that the pharmacy there is they buy it wholesale and sell it for that price. So the medicine that is the same exact brand, $12 at Target, they sold it to me for $2 and charged it to my student account.
I believe also, I know UNC Charlotte had it. I don't know if, just because you could see all the medicines that they had available, I don't know if UNCW does, but they have UNC Charlotte had a Plan B for $10 on
I
brand.
believe they do have contraceptive. Well, I know they have condoms, obviously. I believe they did have like Plan B and stuff like that. But I only found out about the pharmacy after spending 2.5 years here buying expensive cold medicine, and it was my last semester when finally the doctor told me about it. But also, I mean, take advantage of how quickly you can usually go in to get an appointment. I always got a same day appointment. I never had to wait 3 hours like I did at my like old doctor. And so just if that is the case for your university, take advantage of that because it is so nice and convenient. I don't think I took enough advantage of it. And then also, last thing, just sit on campus sometimes. Bring a book or like do your homework. Sit outside if the weather's nice. Sit on campus and just watch. And you will see such interesting things. You can people watch, but also it's probably a beautiful campus, even if at first glance, I know there's some colleges that are pretty much all cement, all bricks, but you will find things. You will see a little acts of kindness. You will see dogs walk by. And so I wish I had just sat and like watched more often. So take advantage of your campus while you're on it.
Mm-hmm. Also, a lot of North Carolina universities' student health centers are free. The only thing that's not free is whenever they do tests. But the tests are also severely discounted. Like I had to do blood tests, and they did 3 different ones, and it was like $50.
Yeah, they did the test on me when I was immune to COVID while being quarantined with someone the second time. They did antibodies on me to see if I had the immunity somehow. They did the antibodies test, and she was so curious about it that she waived the fee. And like, I don't know where that money came from, but she waived the fee for my test because she was like, genuinely, I just want to find out why this is happening.
Yeah. Oh, that's so sweet.
Shoot, I had some advice. Let me think of it.
Do you want this notepad so that when you think of things, you can write it down?
Thank you.
Because I actually brought that for any of us, but I just kind of forgot about it.
Number one, don't be the person who's too embarrassed to dance. Literally dance your ass off, because the most embarrassing type of dancing is the people who are half-ass dancing. It's not dancing. It's not dancing too hard. It is the people who are a little shy and just barely dancing. Just saying.
I do want to also mention, like, taking advantage of the somewhat free time you have. At least at the beginning, like freshman year, sophomore year, I had a lot of free time.
No free time. Freshman and sophomore year.
I think it definitely depends on your schedule.
I think
we were
depends.
transfer students, and I remember my first semester, just my first semester as a transfer student, was we were getting drunk on a fucking. I mean, no, we weren't. Hypothetically, getting drunk on a Wednesday, and
I had no
just going to the
yeah.
beach all the time, like stuff like that I couldn't imagine having the free time for, especially in my last semester. But I do think, like, also take advantage of if you have a learning disability. Remember, like, I did not register that with my school. I have ADHD. I didn't register it in my school until my last year. And I didn't realize I could get priority registration for classes since I have that. And that saved me, because at the time it was a lot of online classes because of COVID. Those were such a struggle for me with the ADHD that if they had in-person classes, they filled up immediately, and I was like learning nothing with online asynchronous classes. And so that saved my life, having that priority registration. And I didn't even know that existed, and that was something that could be beneficial to me until my last year. So if you have something, register it, see what is available to you, because you have no idea how helpful it could be.
I remember what I was going to say. So if you need therapy, try not to do student therapy. Like, go to student therapy if you aren't struggling with any mental illness and it's a light issue you can talk about. But, like, honestly, it's worth it to put aside money and go get therapy and get actual help. And on that, there are grants from most schools, because obviously most people sponsor medical things and want to take discounts from those. But there are grants you can earn of several thousand, several hundred, whatever amount of money to go towards outside therapy that a lot of students don't know about and don't apply for.
I think it's also talking about, like, mental health and stuff like that. It's important to make sure you're having an open communication. I mean, this is not even just within college. This is within life. Having an open communication with your friends about, you know, what's, like, of course not trauma dumping whenever, like, they don't have, you know, this emotional space for it, but just, like, letting them know, like, what's going on in your life and just being open about things, because the worst thing you can do is kind of hold something back that's been bothering you, not even just about the person themselves, but just, like, your relationships with other people or other things, and you just getting that third person perspective is really important.
Actually, like, I had one kind of like that where it was like secluding yourself and eating like shit and being surrounded by a mess is going to affect your mindset way more than you think it is. If you're constantly eating ramen and just, like, cheap shit all the time, and I get it, like, just try to find more variety if you can on campus, because if you're constantly eating like that and then you surround yourself also in, like, a messy dorm and, like, then seclude yourself, it all kind of is layered together, and it's going to affect you way, way more than you think it's going to. And suddenly you realize that you're surrounded by mess, you feel like shit, you're alone, and you can't focus on your classes even. So you were so focused on your classes that you didn't realize what was happening around you, and your space affects your mindset, especially in college, because I feel like your dorm, your room, whatever, becomes a safe haven for you. For most of the time, some people have safe havens other places, and, like, some people find one in the library, but I feel like for the most part, your personal space is going to be your, like, secluded safe space. And if you don't have that anymore in college, you feel like you don't have anything. And so I had a lot of friends who their first year just didn't think about that and would let things pile up around them because they were so focused on studying, and they would just take a quick snack every once in a while, would never have a full meal, and it eventually all fell down.
I think bouncing off of that too, being intentional with your meals, whether it's through nutrition, which is, you know, of course the most important part of it, but even just, like, of course, like, you know, money is tight and in many different stages of our lives. I have ramen often because that's just the cheaper option.
But you do delicious ramen.
I do delicious ramen. I add more intentionality to it instead of just being like, oh, since this is such a quick meal, I'm just gonna make it and then get it out of the way. I make the ramen, but then I add other ingredients to like make me actually enjoy it, because I notice that whenever I'm not feeling myself or I'm not feeling that good, a lot of times I'll just take shortcuts and like whenever it comes to food just to like eat it and get out of the way. But whenever I actually take that second to actually think about like what I'm eating, or, you know, just like I said, like doing ramen and then just being like, oh, maybe I'll add some vegetables. I think this might be good. And then, ooh,
frozen
gochujang.
broccoli. Even if you add teriyaki, like if sometimes I like realized halfway through that so I add Old Bay to my regular chicken ramen, make that taste better. Then of course I got tired of that, as college students do. I ended up doing a thing where I would not add the flavor packet in, drain the water from it, add teriyaki sauce, and then get frozen broccoli. You can microwave it in like literally a minute and add it, and even that is better than nothing.
Yeah, I do frozen vegetables. And
yes, queen.
Cute. And
Can you see it?
And a little trick also, or not trick, but like a little recipe that I always like to, I've discovered this very good, is gochujang.
I just realized this was yours. I shouldn't have thrown that.
That's cool. It's paper.
I shouldn't have to say this, but don't make goddamn eggs in your dorm. Don't fucking be that guy. Also, don't do fish. Don't be that fucking guy.
I was just trying to say you microwave your fish.
Oh my gosh, this reminds me. Here's something important too. Learn food safety. I have met several people.
Don't look at me.
No.
Look away.
I was not talking about you, but you laughed, so it made me think of it. But learn food safety. I have met several people that came into college and did not know that you're not allowed to keep rice on a burner for 3 days and that you won't get violently ill from that.
A lot of people don't know not to pour grease down the drain.
Yeah, and also microwave. Do not microwave your eggs. Like a whole
Don't
egg.
microwave styrofoam. Why did I say it like styrofoam?
Styrofoam. Yeah.
Maddie just does it to do it, and she's like, "It'll be fine." I'm like, and then she posts
the
on her
styrofoam
video
thing will probably be fine,
She
but
showed
everything else is not good.
that her
It
slice of
leaches into
pizza like burnt through the bottom, and she was like, "It's fine." I'm like, I don't know how to help you.
No, it leaches
There's
into
nothing
your
I can do to
body.
help you.
Yeah.
I did have one like that where it was like learn to cook basic dishes and then learn how to clean as soon as possible. I personally, so I didn't know how to fucking do laundry until I came to college because my mom loves doing laundry. It's like a therapeutic thing for her. So growing up, she took my laundry before I could even think about it. Like, she loves doing it. And so it's everything with cleaning. Cleaning is so relieving for her that she never taught me how. And so I get here and she's moving me in. She teaches me quickly how to do laundry, but then everything else I have to kind of figure out as I go. And I am a very clean person, but I didn't know how to correctly clean a lot of things. And so learn YouTube. It's so helpful. There's TikTok pages dedicated entirely to teaching you like the best way to clean a shower, a sink, whatever. And so as soon as you can, figure out those things before it's too late for you and you're surrounded by mess. And same thing with cooking. Learn some basic meals. I know HelloFresh does like a trial thing where it's fairly cheap. I know that that's probably a later on in college thing if maybe you have a part-time job.
Or a kitchen.
But yeah, that too. I didn't live in a dorm, so I didn't think of that. But yeah, just as soon as you can, just basic go-to meals, because if you don't learn, you will just get worse and worse about it, and you're going to drive your roommates insane in the future.
Be open and honest with your roommates when they piss you off. Talk to them. Do boundaries, man.
I think an important thing too is learning how to communicate, because a lot of people talk about like these bad instances with the roommates. I mean, I feel like we've all had some instances of conflict of some sort. And the biggest thing is that we usually take on what, like, our coping mechanisms, our conversation skills that our parents give us, and our parents do the best that they know how to do. But there's some things that change that we need to learn, that are different. And so I think it is very important to like look at how other people are communicating, and if something is making you feel bad, start to learn and understand why is the way that this person's communicating making you feel bad. And if there's a negative reaction coming from them from the way you're communicating, like look into it, ask them even. It's like, hey, like I'm sorry, I noticed that this kind of made you feel a little defensive. Like, can we talk about that? Because I definitely learned that that a lot of my stuff can be a little aggressive sounding maybe, or I just didn't go about it the right way.
Everybody grows up in a different household. So some things that are completely normal, like taking your shoes off at the door, changing your clothes before you like get into your bed, or sharing like certain ingredients, pancake mix, milk, whatever.
Even how you organize a kitchen.
Yeah,
like,
even how you organize
like the
a
smallest
kitchen.
thing. Yeah.
Like, you gotta talk about that, because it is
Yeah.
so invasive when somebody, number one, reorganizes your stuff, or number two, plans something that was important to you that you didn't know was important to you, and then just set it up.
And like, be honest in the beginning, especially there's like, well, one, when you're about to room with someone, and two, sometimes they do the matching things, like roommate matching things. And for some reason, some people just straight up are not honest on those. And they'll be like, yeah, I'm pretty clean. And then they'll be like, the worst. And
Those are the worst people.
or they'll be like, yeah, I'm a morning person, and then they meant that they stay up until 4 a.m. blaring music. Like, well, I don't understand why, because like they're for a reason. Like, if you love partying and staying up all night and being a mess, then get matched with someone who does. Like, you'll find someone who matches your energy. Don't make a morning person who's super quiet and never goes out room with you. Like, don't be afraid to, if those things make you look bad, don't be afraid to like say them, because it's for a reason that you're discussing these things with someone you're about to live with, especially in a dorm where it's like the same room.
They only make you look bad whenever it's in comparison to your roommate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also want to say, like, people need to understand that not one is better. If you are a morning person and you get stuff done in the morning, cool, great, good for you. If you were a night person and you get stuff done at night, cool, good. But just because you are a night person does not mean you procrastinate, does not mean you put off things, does not mean that you are less successful than morning
It doesn't
people.
even mean you're a partier. It just means your brain is more active at night.
Yeah, that's all that it means, and you don't have to be a morning. I tried so
Oh my God,
fucking
me too.
hard to be a morning person.
I'm the opposite. I am a morning person. And so I have the opposite issue where I get made fun of for being up late or not being able to like stay up late at night. But if Keegan Morgan makes fun of me
Bro,
for
because
that.
she'll be like falling asleep at like 9 p.m. and I'm like, dude, why would you hang out if you're just gonna fall asleep on the couch?
Because I don't realize, like, see, that's the thing too, is that sleep comes on to me very, very quickly. Like, with my previous partner, I would be on the phone with them and I would sound completely normal in one sense, and he would say a sentence and then I would be completely asleep.
Dude, sometimes you're like, I'm just gonna lay down for a second, and I'm like, just go home.
But I
don't. I just want to. No, dude, she pulls this all the time. I'm just resting my eyes. Well, when are you gonna open them?
all the time.
In 8 hours?
It's a long
All
rest.
the time.
No.
It's a long rest.
It's all, but
I don't want to be
Anyway.
there for that.
I get very cranky at night whenever I'm tired and I don't and I can't go to sleep. So that's what I was gonna say.
We're 10 minutes over, so I had two
Oh, yeah.
things left on my list that I was just going to quickly kind of list. One is talk in class. Don't be embarrassed to talk in class, because the professor, if you're between a B and an A, like very close, and they remembered that you talked in class, they are way more likely to bump you up. And two, don't be a know-it-all. A lot of people come to college, think they know everything, and then go
You
to class
don't.
all cocky. And not only academically, I've been in class with people who tried to correct the professor, and guess who looked like a fucking dumbass? Not the professor. And so not even just academically, but also socially. If you come to college with a super closed mind, you're going to look like a fucking idiot, and you're not going to make a lot of friends. Because if you're not willing to listen to other people and just talk to people different than you because you think you know everything, you're going to end up very lonely, because college is full of open minds and new ideas. And if you're not willing to accept those and you think you know everything at the ripe age of 18, you're not going to have a great time, and you're not going to meet a lot of people who are like you, because they're having a great time learning new things.
Teachers are not better than you. Teachers are not worse than you. So they're literally just act like them, or talk to them like act like they're like new friends, new colleagues that you're meeting, because most of them appreciate when it's like that. Of course, you're going to get, oh, it's doctor. Bitch.
But they may know more in their academic field than you.
Yes.
So that's what I was thinking. I literally was in a film class where the guy tried to correct.
Not a film class.
Tried to correct. I'll blur that out. But he got destroyed. Okay, people still talk about it to this day. How much that professor destroyed him when that man tried to incorrectly correct him.
He corrected.
Yeah.
The professor that we are
Talking about is known for, one, knowing a lot, and two, being a hard ass.
Dad love.
They will
you
tell
fucking
you.
idiot.
Yeah.
Gordon Ramsay. Like.
Yeah. Gordon Ramsay. Perfect.
So people still talk about when that dumbass tried to like correct him. And so I've just been in classes with people who you could tell they thought they knew more than the professor, whether or not they said anything in regards to it. It was in their tone. It was in the way they answered things. Don't do that, because you look stupid and you look like a kid and not someone who's there to learn. If you're not there to learn, why are you here? And so that's basically my closing argument. Does anyone else have anything they want to say before we wrap up?
This is the point in your life where you realize that adults are also just as equally as confused as when you were a kid.
Oh, yeah.
And that they don't know everything, and that they're not gods, and that this is the point in your life where you have to make a decision. You are on your own in a good way. Make it a good way. Make it a good thing. You are on your own. Like, accept. Not
Sorry,
the juice pouch.
I had to hit my. Y'all want to hit?
Yo, yeah.
My Capri Sun.
Not
for
with
those
your
listening.
fucking mono shit.
My mono from almost a decade ago now.
Yeah, don't touch me, cooties. But like, this is the point of your life where you have to make a decision of what you value your time to be. Like, you're gonna have to take some classes that you don't want to take, but you are going to take the classes that interest you, that are for your major, that are for your success. Because after college, unless you have already started this mindset, you're not really gonna learn much else if you aren't already putting yourself out there.
Yeah, and that's part of, I actually recorded an individual video talking about how different things have been after college, and that was one of the things, was that you have a transition where you realize you're not learning much. But yeah.
I have to add this really quick.
What?
Go ahead, though.
I was gonna say, well, mine's a little bit changing the topic, so you go ahead.
Drink
if
your
it's
juice.
like,
Okay. My mental abilities are declining. The same family, the daughter was telling me, she was telling me about the Civil War or World War I, and I was like, I still don't get why World War I happened. Like, come on, man. And I was like, but that's the same as the Civil War.
That's the
And
same
she
with
was like-
any war.
And she's like, no, it's not. And I'm like,
Oh,
yeah,
I thought
it
you
is.
meant the concept of I don't get
No,
why
no,
it
no,
happened.
no.
Okay.
And like, for a good 5 minutes, I was like, I cannot remember what the Civil War was. And I was like,
Oh, no.
And she was like, it was the one with the North versus the South. And I was like,
It was civil.
no, that was the Revolutionary War. And she was like, no.
oh no.
Like, it was also like 11 p.m. and I had been working all day, but
No, that's why I went around my office for my little Why Would You Ask That Wednesdays, and I asked people, are you smarter than a fifth grader questions? And it's not that they were hard questions. It's the fact that it's been so fucking long since the last time someone asked you how many bones are in the human body and what's the longest river in the
32.
world. Yeah, you
like-
got it.
I guess the final thing to like wrap us up, you're never stagnant unless you make yourself stagnant. You can, if you decide that college is not for you, you can leave college. If you decide a job is not for you, you can make like arrangements to where you're in a different job or a different career path altogether. So do not ever feel like that just because like you get out of college and then you have to do this one specific job for the rest of your life. You don't.
I just quit my second job a week and a half after I started. And
Yeah.
guess what? Nothing happened. The guy was like, yeah, that's fine. Go for it. So fuck it. Life is short.
Okay. Sorry, I'm tired. It's
people
late.
getting mad at
It's 9 p.m.
people getting mad at you isn't a loss.
All right. Thank you so much for listening. We love you. And please go check out our Instagram and our YouTube if
We
you're not
have
on
a YouTube and a TikTok, both of which are kind of popping off in the most mild way possible. So go check
Thanks
those
to
out.
Rachel.
And both of those are at Trauma Tuesdays.
What if with the background it goes?
Oh, are you
Yeah, like the audio.
Okay.